Hi there, everyone. We want to welcome you back to the beginning of the second semester. Hope you had a great Christmas break and New Year's break, and you're able to spend some time with your family and ready to get back at it. What I want to do, I want to talk to you about a couple things as we begin this semester. The first is we sent out some new tentative dates for next year for the school year, and there might be some questions as to why the calendar is different. And we usually get some questions throughout the year about why the calendar isn't always exactly like the public school calendars. So I thought it might be best just to explain to you what's going on with that. What we do is when we make the master calendar, we always find out when public school is starting for Hillsborough County. And I always like to start a couple days before them. They usually start on a Tuesday. We normally start the Thursday before. The main reason we do that is because of all the traffic that we deal with with car drop-off. So that's been our pattern. What we found out this year was that public school bumped their starting date back a week. The reason that affects us is because we like to take our semester exams before Christmas, and the county takes theirs after Christmas. So because they bumped their starting date back a week, we had to make a decision. Do we want to take our exams after Christmas like they do, which there was overwhelmingly a vote of no to do that, or are we going to have to start a couple days earlier to make sure we get sufficient number of days in the first semester? So, after meeting with our staff and getting some input, we felt like that's what we should do. So that's the reason we're starting 2 days earlier next year, so we could get those number of days in first semester so our kids can take their exams and not have to worry about studying over Christmas break and all those kind of things. The second question is usually about spring break and why is our spring break different than most of the county. There's a number of reasons for that. The first reason is their pattern has been to set spring break and to move it each week later through the year, each year that passes, and then they rotate it back to March to the end of April. Well, it's difficult for us to follow that pattern because none of the public schools do a senior trip like we do. That's also why a lot of the other Christian schools don't follow the calendar to the T either as far as the county. So with us having a senior trip where we want to take the kids away to New York and really do it right for an entire week, it's tough to have senior trip and then have spring break right behind it because you got seniors not in class for 2 weeks, and ask any teacher how challenging it is to get the kids back on task after that, and it is. In addition to that, we also have our fine arts trips, our mini-mester, and so that takes away 2 or 3 days of another week. So to put spring break in March would be almost impossible for us. The next question people ask is, well, why do you have it where you have it in April? And this is what we have done. We try to take the last day that we get out from a holiday standpoint, which is usually in the month of late February, early March of Strawberry Festival Day, and we go to the end of the school year and we try to put the spring break right in the middle, because to us it really doesn't make a lot of sense to have it so early in March and then have to endure 10 straight weeks of school with the only day off being Good Friday. So our thought process is we get off on Strawberry Festival Day, we go 4 or 5 weeks, have that break, come back, and there's only 5 or 6 weeks left. We've also found that it helps us with attendance in the last quarter because there's not as much sickness. And so that's the reason for the new dates, the tentative dates, why we do some of those things. If you were wondering, we're not trying to make it inconvenient on anybody, but that's the thought process behind it, and we just wanted to give you that information. The third thing I wanted to mention to you is next week, for those of you that are new to our school this year, next week is our big, it's really the highlight of our church here, First Fruitful Baptist Church in Sefner. It's the highlight of our year. We have our annual camp meeting. And once again, for those of you that are new, there's going to be tons of visitors on campus. It's a great time of revival for our church. And just mentioning that, so in case you're wondering, why are all these people on campus this week, and maybe to also be cautious as you come back and forth off campus to make sure that we have a smooth week. We'd ask for your prayers for that God would bless and anoint the services and use it to save people and encourage the Christians. All right. Well, we appreciate all your support and your encouragement. Hope you've set some great goals for the upcoming year, and we're looking forward to what God's going to do for us here at Sefner Christian. God bless.